Hello, 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 everyone. This is Elder Sheila Black. Welcome to Touching You Talk Show. And guess what? I have another special guest. Like all of my guests are special, but I have another special guest, Mr. Eric Bridine. How are you today, sir?
I am great, and I am so glad to be on with you. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Absolutely. So I always ask my guests, how long have we known each other? Now, you and I,
Oh my God.
we've known each other for a long time.
Yes.
It's not like we know each other, but we know each other. So
Yes,
how
yes,
long
yes,
has it
yes.
been since we've been acquainted?
Honestly, I can't even really put a number to it because it seemed like when I think of you, I've been knowing you all my life, and I know that's probably not the case. But I mean, it's just certain people that you meet in life that you just feel like you've known a long time. So that's a good thing. So it's been
Absolutely.
a while for sure.
It's been a long, long time, and it has been a blessing to watch the Lord use you in your music career. So let's talk about you. Where are you from?
I am born and raised in the heart of Fort Worth, Texas. I I went to several of the schools and graduated from Paul Lawrence Dunbar. I actually grew up in the Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, 956 East Jefferson, on the south side of Fort Worth. I'm the youngest of three siblings, and yeah, that's who I am.
So, do your siblings still live here?
They do. They both live in Fort Worth. My sister is the oldest, Tanya Tucker, and then my brother Sam Burdine, who's a minister at Great Commission Church. And I have to shout out my mom because if she's watching this, I am going to hear it for the rest of the night. So I have to shout out my mom, Versa Pruitt, who actually is a member of Grace Tabernacle, Pastor Roy Brackens.
All right. Hello, Mom. And it's so good.
Yes.
We're glad to have you watching tonight. You have to be watching.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're from Fort Worth, Texas,
Mhm.
and do your other siblings sing like
They
you do?
do. My brother, my sister is really a great singer as well. She don't sing as much now, but my brother still sings. He sings a lot at Great Commission. So we all really sing. It's funny because when we have holidays, they're always, trying to gather and sing. I'm like, no, let's not do that, saints. But they all really, really sing very, very well.
That is wonderful. I mean, that should be a great time when you guys get together and you can do that three-part harmony. When you sing the
Absolutely.
three-part harmony, what part does each one of you sing?
So my mom and my sister both are very strong sopranos, but they can sing alto. And of course, my brother is a tenor, and me being a choir director, I sing all parts. So I just fall in where I fall in. So, but they most definitely can sing all parts. Now Sam, he's gonna most definitely stay a tenor. We got to keep him at base, keep him grounded. But my mom and my sister, they can sing soprano alto. So yeah.
So when did you realize you could sing? How old were you when you realized you could sing?
Wow. So I was actually, like I said, I grew up in Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, and Sister Dilworth, Dorothy Dilworth, who has gone on to be with the Lord now, she gave me a song, "Soldiers of the Cross" or something like that. I can't remember, but so that was my first song she gave it to me. And I guess she just knew that my whole family. My grandfather actually is where I got my musical abilities from, I believe, because he was over the music department. He used to direct the choir with two fingers. He was, we used to call him the male Matty Mouse Clark because they say back in the day he used to throw hymn books and Bibles at them when they didn't do right. So I got it from my grandfather, but Sister Dilworth was the first person that gave me a song, and I mean, it's been history from there. I've been singing ever since.
Wow, that is
Yes.
wonderful. So tell me about your life as a young person at church, at the Baptist church.
At the Baptist church, oh my God, the church I grew up in, of course, it was Missionary Baptist Church, but we were exposed to all gifts and all forms of the spirit, meaning that we had people that did the stretch out, We had people that spoke in tongues. We had people that danced at the holy dance. We had the people that did the Baptist buck. We actually had it all. And so I was exposed. So when I began to in community choirs and things like that, I wasn't shocked because I saw it all growing up. Quick story: I remember it's a lady, Johnny Faye Crenshaw. She spoke in tongues at church. One of the ladies that really fluently spoke in tongues at church, and I never forget. I was a little boy and I started mocking her. I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing, and my grandmother hit me in the mouth and said, "You don't play with the Holy Spirit." And that caused me to learn what it was all about. So I've been exposed to all types of gifts of the spirit all my life. So that's kind of how I've grown up. So
So are you a PK?
I'm not a PK, but my grandfather was like one of the lead deacons at the church, and so I would say that's kind of very close to being a PK, because you always at church. My grandfather was actually over the BTU, the Baptist Training Union, so we had to be there to do Bible drills and draw sword and all that good stuff. So not a PK, but my grandfather was like one of the lead deacons of the church.
So did you become like a choir director at the Baptist church, or was that at a different church?
I did. So it was at the Baptist church. So what happened? Our minister of music, Brother Richard Hawkins, he actually gave me my opportunity, and there go my phone. That it would ring in the middle of an interview,
It's
right?
okay. It's
But
okay. We're just sitting in the living room talking anyway.
absolutely. But he actually gave me my first opportunity to direct a song, which was "The Jesus in Me Loves the Jesus in You." That was the first song that I ever taught to a choir and actually directed. I was a part of the Israelites, which was his choir as well. So I did it there, and from there, he allowed me to direct at church as well.
Okay, all right. So were you one of those directors that would make people hold that note a long, long time?
Very long time. Now I didn't. Now I didn't. No, I didn't. I wasn't the one that would go sit down and do all the theatrics with it, but I would make them hold it. If they didn't do right in rehearsal, you hold it an extra long.
No, sir. No, sir. Did you throw Bibles at people? And
No, 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 no. I wasn't that one.
so you were nice. You were very nice, but
Mm,
yet,
it depends on who you would ask if I was nice or not. But I would say I was one of the nice kind because I think creating a good environment to learn makes people learn easier and faster. So I was that type. Will kind of joke around, but at the same time be firm as well.
so you say you sing all three parts. So you sing soprano too?
I do. Now I
I
don't. I wouldn't sing
I
it.
don't hit the note. I don't hit the note.
Oh, listen now. Come on now, Elder. Not on the live. You're not gonna do that to me on the live, are you? Once we go off live, I'll sing it for you.
Okay. All right. So tell me about your experience with church after the Baptist church. Then what happened?
So after that, I've been a part of the Apostolic Church, and now I'm actually a part of the Potter's House, which uh, considered non-denominational, but it's just been pretty much the Baptist and also non-denominational church. Of course, I was a minister of music before the Potter's House at Dewberry Christian Center with my god brothers, Pastor Blair, which was such a great experience and a learning experience as well. But that's pretty much been my foundation is the Baptist. And if you know anything about the Missionary Baptist Church or just the Baptist Church in general, has a strong foundation that can guide you through any denomination that God takes you. Again, I was exposed to all of the gifts of the Spirit, so nothing was a shock to me.
So okay. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about some of the projects you've done in the past. Now we're going to talk about your brand new hit single. We're going to talk about that last, but let's just talk about your project that you did before that. Tell me all about the full album that you did.
Okay, one more time. I actually dropped off for a second. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Can you tell me about? We're going to talk about your hit single last, but let's talk
Oh,
about the project that you did before that.
absolutely. So the project I released in 2018 was volume two, and it was a project that I had the opportunity to work with some of God's greats, from Naya Cotton to Drea Randall, Crystal Rucker, Nikki Sanford, Brittany Stevenson is on there singing as well, which was the project with the group I have, Eric Bridine and the Messengers, and it was an amazing project. Has been able to do and open so many doors for me, but it's just a great collaboration of music that compel God's people, to praise and worship Him.
So, how many songs was on that one?
That's a good question. I think it's about 10 or something like that. It's been a while since I listened to it, but yes.
Okay, all right. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, tell me about some of the famous people you've sung with.
Wow. I have to first mention the amazing Miss Sonia Dickerson.
That's my pastor.
That's right. That's what I know. But Pastor Sonia Dickerson, I've actually had the opportunity to work with Tamala Mann, the group Eric Burdine and the Messengers. We did several of those projects where we was featured at least on one song on the last probably two or three projects that she's done. Brother Myron Butler, of course, I worked many, many, many years with Brother Myron and Demarcus Williams and VOP. Who else? I've had the opportunity to work with Kirk Franklin. In working with him, there's been opportunities to do some background for Mariah Carey and uh, so many others, Maverick City. So it's been great. I don't want
So,
to
tell
call
me
too
about the
many names.
experience with Mariah Carey. Did you all sing a secular song or was it a gospel? Seems like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. So,
Uh,
just hold on, y'all. Did you
yes, it keeps freezing. Yes.
did you
I
hear me?
did. Yeah, the experience with Mariah Carey. So again, that was of course through Kirk Franklin and Demarcus Williams, all of them. Uh, that experience was very unique because while we were recording the background vocals for the Christmas CD, well, it was one of the Christmas songs, I should say, wasn't the whole CD. But Kirk actually brought her in on FaceTime, so he kind of talked to her while we were in the studio as well. So she wasn't there, but he did FaceTime her to kind of let her hear it and all that kind of stuff. So that was great. Just working with Kirk Franklin, period, on anything. I know we're talking about Mariah Carey, but he's amazing. And the opportunities that he's given and reached back to give those who are in this area, because it's not just myself, it's so many others in this area that he's given opportunities to, like myself, and it's amazing.
What I love about Kirk Franklin is that I remember in my early days, that's the only music I would listen to. I wouldn't
Really?
any, I wouldn't listen to
Wow.
any other gospel. So
Wow.
he was actually my bridge,
That's
my
amazing.
bridge into the kingdom. One day, if I ever get
Wow.
to talk to him, I'm going to tell him that he was a bridge
Yes.
into the kingdom because that's the only music I would listen to, and then eventually I started listening to other stuff.
Yeah, I
So
think that's a
great.
testimony of a lot of people that he's been a bridge, because his music, crossed over in so many different arenas, not just in the church. I mean, he crossed over and brought so many back to the church, and I
Right.
don't think he really get his just due for doing that.
Right. Okay, so you were on Pastor Sonia's project. And
Yes.
you talked about being on Tamala Mann's project. Anybody else you want to tell us about?
So I actually had an opportunity. One of the songs that I recorded and wrote on my first project, which was Volume One, uh, called "We Praise You," was featured in Saints and Sinners, the TV show Saints and Sinners, and That has been such a blessing to those who are familiar with my music to listen, and they'll text me and be like, "Did you know your song was in there?" Well, of course I did. I'm excited as well. But a friend of mine, Mr. Tim Jackson, who was actually in the show from Atlanta, they were looking for material, and that's why it's important to have great connections and things like that. And he most definitely said, "Hey, I got someone, and I got the perfect song for this moment." And just out of that, having Kelly Price, the legend, leading your song in a show, TV show, is just it's just great. It's a great opportunity, and God couldn't have scripted no better than that. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that opportunity.
That is just wonderful. You're gonna make us all go back and watch Saints and Sinners.
Please, please do. Please go back and watch it right now.
You know which episode, or we just gotta watch all of them to figure out.
That's a good question. I find it and I because I appreciate when y'all watch it.
Okay,
Amen.
all right, all right. So let's talk about this hit single that you have.
Aw.
What made you? What? How did you birth this new song?
So the song is amazing. I think God has songs for different seasons and times. I actually wrote the song years ago and recorded the song twice with a friend of mine in Delaware as well. And the song was never released for whatever reason. And I think God actually deals in delays as well. And
Absolutely.
I think he delayed it for this time in this season. And again, I wrote the song in a whole different time, but released it now. I have been working with my music producer, Mr. Stephen Bruton. Shout out to him because he has been the driving force with me completing it. Because going through a pandemic, there were so many things. Of course, it takes finances and all that good stuff, which wasn't, I should say, it wasn't an issue. It was just the time and saying, God, is it really, should I really release this? And he was pushing me and saying, bro, this, you need to release this. This is, the world needs to hear this. And he was that person that was behind me and pushing me to release it. So again, the song was written years ago, but it was just the timing of it to be released now. And we see the fruits of that now.
Yeah,
That
I
was,
noticed on your Facebook page. I see that it's rising in the charts. Come on, tell us
yes.
about it on Billboard. Tell us.
Yes. So the plaque that I just received was ordered during the time of the release. When it debuted, it was at number 13 on Billboard, and also it topped because the iTunes chart is a moving chart. I mean, it's moving all day. It's moving right now. It also made it up to come on, graphic. Come on, Elder.
Sir, yes, sir.
But it actually made it up to like I think number 8 on the iTunes charts as well. So I'm grateful, and I put it in the post when I posted this the other day that I really appreciate the people that support my ministry because again it's been 4 years, and you just never take it for granted that when you put out something that people are going to support it because they don't have to. They can. There's millions of artists and people out there that they can support. So when they're supporting you, I'm extremely grateful for it. That they take the dollar or they stream or do whatever they do to support my ministry. So I'm grateful. I was actually out celebrating my birthday with some friends out of town, and we were in the mall, and I immediately gave God praise in the mall when I found out. And you have to have the right friends because they was just pushing me on. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
So, all right. So, tell me all the platforms this song is on.
Wow. So I know for sure it's on iTunes, it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Music, it's on just about every streaming platform, anywhere you can purchase music now. It's there, and I would love the support of God's people.
Yeah, yeah. And the one thing I did not do was pull up a clip to play while we were here.
Mhm.
Do you have one on your Facebook page? That we can hear like a clip of it.
You may. I think the last clip that I posted was singing at church. I don't have anything of that singing that song, but something at church is probably the
Mm.
last clip. I probably should do a better job of posting those, but I don't really post a lot of singing.
So how long have you? So as far as being a bona fide artist,
Hmm.
how long have you actually been in the industry to say I am an artist? You know, we talked about how you first started and how you sung in the church. So how long has it been since you truly considered yourself to be an artist?
That's a good question, but because I don't know, I still struggle with that. I just enjoy doing what I do. Um, I think we're labeled with the whole artist thing, but I do, and I even write music. If you listen to any of the music that I write it for the church, so they can sing it back, right? So if I had to put a number to it, I would say probably about the last 10 years when I had, the group and things like that. And we started actually at our debut concert, we had a demo CD, which was a very humble beginning. We just kind of went into the studio, didn't really know what I was doing, even though had recorded with other people, just kind of went out there. And my thing was to have something to give God's people when they left the concert that night. So I kind of was, kind of pushed. Forget, I don't know if you remember, brother Antonio Johnson. He was actually at the debut concert, and he was like, "Hey, give me one. I'm gonna take it back to the radio station and play it."
Yeah.
And from there, I mean, that's kind of how it happened. And they played that first version because I have two versions of It All Works Together. They played that first version of It All Works Together for years. And I mean, that's kind of the way it happened. And I must say that the journey that I've been on has been God orchestrated because, again, I didn't plan none of that. I didn't plan to have those CDs there for it to be as an artist. I planned so the people can have something to lead with, which was just listening to the voice of God. And from there, Antonio Johnson took it to the radio station. Then so everybody started saying, Eric Burdine is they're an artist. So that's kind of the way it started. So
Okay, so let's give some people some advice. So if
yeah.
it's someone out there that they're just starting out, may
Mhm.
they be young, may they be middle aged, may they be 80,
Yes.
and they want to get their music out there.
Mhm.
What's the first thing you would tell them to do?
So a couple of things. I would say just stay true to yourself. Don't look to the right or to the left. Just look to God for direction because my journey is not your journey. Your journey is not the next person's journey. So you can't get caught up, and it's easy to do. You can't get caught up in what you see others doing. Just continue to pray and ask God to uh, help you figure out the journey that He wants you to take. Because again, everybody's journey is not the same. So stay true to yourself and let God lead you on the path that He has for you.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How important is prayer?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, it can be challenging with prayer. So you can imagine without it. So, prayer is most definitely where you get all your answers and your direction and your peace. Because sometimes God doesn't answer right away. So, but you can get peace in the midst of your waiting in prayer.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, do you have a favorite scripture that you stand on?
Um, I don't, but one that just popped into my mind was in all our ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. That one just popped in my mind. But because, your ways have to, be in all your ways acknowledge him. Uh, so that way, wherever you go, there be a level of peace because it's not always going to be peaceful. But you'll find peace if he's directing your path.
So have you had any doors that you had to say no?
Oh, many,
So
many,
how
many,
did
many
you know
doors.
which ones to say no to?
Prayer, because I pray over everything that comes my way, because um, all opportunities are not for you. You can do it, but they're not always for you. And sometimes things happen going into doors that God never sent us into. So sometimes you have to just say no to it, even though it looks great, it sounds great. Sometimes there is a monetary blessing attached to it, but if that's not the door that God has for you, you have to say no sometimes.
So finally, what encouraging word do you have for that person that may, I don't know, somebody just may be feeling down and they ran across this talk show and just started listening and thinking, oh, this is an interesting conversation.
Hmm.
You know, just like you said, God orders our steps, and sometimes He just orders the steps of people that just be scrolling trying to find something to look at, and they run across our program, and they just need an encouraging word. What would you say to them today?
I would say hang in there. It's going to be okay. I think during this the past 2 years, and even years prior to that, going into the pandemic, the time of isolation, a lot of us have had to spend time alone, spend time with ourselves, spend time with our thoughts, spend time with, just even some family members we haven't even really spent time with, because we stay so busy going from, point A to point B and all that good stuff. But I would say hang in there, because what has happened is we've had to realize that, so, or address some of the things that we've been able to avoid by being busy.
Hmm.
So I'm back to hang in there. It's really going to be okay. Back to in all our ways acknowledge Him. He's going to direct us out of those situations that we're experiencing right now. Don't give up. Keep moving, because and one thing about a storm, it's most definitely going to pass. It's always moving. Some storms move faster than the others.
I like that. It's
Sometimes,
always moving. Oh,
but
yeah.
it's always moving. Storms are always moving. Uh, Now I'm gonna tell you something about storms as well. You have to know the direction of the storm and be in tune with the direction that you should be going. Back to in all thy ways and not a sham, because sometimes you can get out of the storm by going in the right direction.
Hmm.
You can get out quicker because you can make the right turns, you can make the right movements. But if you're moving in the same direction with the storm, you're gonna think that storm is lasting longer. No, you're just moving in the wrong direction.
Mm, got
So in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path out of the storm, which way to go to get out of there. Because if you start moving the way of the storm that's going, the storm gonna end quicker, the sun's gonna shine again.
it. All right. And finally, you have an event coming up in October.
I do. Thanks for reminding me. I'll be going to Delaware for another recording. A choir up there, the GMWA Delaware chapter, is recording another song of mine, and so we'll be traveling there to celebrate with them on their second recording. So I'm excited about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
No,
being
thank
my guest
you.
tonight. Thank you for telling us about your life. I want everybody to go in, and I want everybody to to go in and get this song. Um, it's a great song. Let me put it back up on the screen so everybody can see it.
Awesome. And while you're doing that, thank you so much for having me on your platform tonight. I don't take it lightly or for granted, for sharing my story and my music with your audience. I really, really, really do appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate your business. Your ministry. And I'm telling you, I was there when you recorded that uh, album with Pastor Sonia. And when I tell you, it
Yes.
was it was an experience like none other. It wasn't just a recording, but
Hmm.
the Spirit of God was there. And I know that
Absolutely.
whatever you do and however you do it, you have the Spirit of the Lord there. So everyone, make sure go out and purchase. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, go to all of your platforms that you normally use. find this song, download it, purchase it, and let's be a blessing. You know, we're always spending our money on this and that. Why don't we support? Why don't we support our own?
Absolutely.
Especially
Most
when the song
definitely.
is good.
Okay.
It's one thing
Please
to
do.
just sympathy support someone, but no, this is a good song. So
Oh, thank you so much. And that's what I was going to say in closing is to not only support my music, but those who are out there putting out, quality music, even those who are not. Everybody needs support. But it takes, I mean, any ministry takes finances. So supporting myself, Pastor Sonia, of course, we supporting the towns, but don't just stream it. Also go to iTunes as well, because that most definitely helps the ministry and helps us to continue to do ministry and bring more music and things like that to you.
all right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you all
Thank
who
you.
are viewing. May you be viewing live or may you be viewing on demand. We appreciate you taking out this time for us. This
Yes.
has been Touching You Talk Show with Eric Burdine. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next week.